Doesn't he look like a judge? Okay, now I'm going to set the scene a little bit because Travis knows exactly what to do. Okay? And I'm going to tell you the rest of the story after we're done here about how we came to this, because you won't believe it. But anyway, we had just filed in the affidavit of specific negative averment and affidavit of mistake. And the judge actually had them on the bench. And so Travis was sitting over in the jury box, handcuffed and in his suit, orange jumpsuit. And when the judge called his case, he never even looked up. He was sitting there reading his papers.
Well, this next case is the State of Washington versus Travis McCord. Is Mr. McCord in the court? Bailiff, is Mr. Travis McCord in the court? Mr. McCord, would you please come over and be seated in the witness chair or the defendant's chair here in front of the bench? Bailiff, would you please escort Mr. McCord over here?
Did you want me?
Yes.
Oh. Where? Oh, here? Oh, okay.
Mr. McCord, you've been charged with driving as a suspended driver in the state of Washington. There's 2 counts here, the same charge on the 2 counts. How do you plead?
Your Honor, did you get my paperwork that I submitted to the court?
I don't know if I have that.
Well, Your Honor, I have paperwork here for you. If you didn't, if I may, if the bailiff would give them to you. Could you give these to the judge, please?
Well, we won't be addressing this here today, Mr. McCord. We're addressing the charges against you, and we're not making any determinations relative to your affidavits.
Your Honor, would that be a rebuttal to my affidavit?
Excuse me?
A rebuttal, sir, to my affidavit.
I'm not making a rebuttal to any affidavits. I haven't even read them.
Would that be a rebuttal to my affidavit, sir?
Mr. McCord, I'm not going to allow you to obstruct this court. We're going to go ahead with our business as we normally do here, and we're going to adjudicate this matter. And I expect you to be cooperative with the court and not show contempt for this court.
Your Honor, it's not my intention to be contemptuous, and I have no intention of being so. I'm merely trying to determine if you're offering a rebuttal to my affidavit.
Mr. McCord, I don't want you to make that statement again in this court. I consider that contemptuous, and I'm not going to tolerate that any further in this court. Bailiff, I want some officers brought into this court to maintain order in this court.
Your Honor, again, it's not my intention to be contemptuous. I apologize. I'm merely trying to determine if you're offering a rebuttal to my affidavit.
I've told you we're not going to discuss that matter any further. I don't want you to recite those words again. Not in this court, or I'll hold you in contempt of this court, Mr. McCord.
Your Honor, would that be a rebuttal to my affidavit?
Mr. McCord, I demand order in this court. I don't want you to repeat that phrase again.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm merely trying to determine if someone here is rebutting my affidavit.
Mr. McCord, I've told you not to say that in this court again. I'm holding you in contempt. Don't make that statement again.
Your Honor, again, I'm sincerely apologetic, Your Honor. I in no way do I mean to be contemptuous. I'm sorry. It's not my intention to do anything contemptuous, Your Honor. I'm merely trying to determine if you're offering a rebuttal to my affidavit.
I'm not interested in your apology. I'm interested in maintaining order in this court, and don't bring up the matter of that affidavit again.
So, Your Honor, would you be offering a rebuttal to my affidavit?
Mr. McCord, I'm not going to tolerate this any further. Bailiff, would you please go into my chambers and get one of the contempt citations that's laying on my desk. You'll find them in a brown folder, and bring that back to me, will you please? Bailiff, you'll find there are numerous citations laying on my desk. Bring them all.
Your Honor, again...
Don't say another word.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I did not mean to be contemptuous. This is not my... I'm merely trying to ascertain if someone's offering a rebuttal to my affidavit.
I'm warning you, I'm holding you in contempt again.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I don't know what...
Will you please shut up? Don't you say another word until I address you and ask you to speak. Not another word. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Would
Not another word.
Would that be a rebuttal to my affidavit, sir?
I want order in this court. I don't want another word spoken until I tell you to speak.
Would that, Your Honor, would that be a rebuttal to my affidavit?
Do you have those citations?
Whoa.
Mr. McCord, I don't believe I will hold you in contempt of this court. I think that would be a waste of the taxpayers' money. I think we'll hold this matter over into another date. Mr. Prosecutor, what's the disposition of the extradition on Mr. McCord?
We're still waiting to get his permission.
So is that still on the governor's desk?
Yeah, yes it is.
Very well. We'll hold a recess and convene this court again then in another 10 minutes.
No, that's really what happened. Now, believe it or not, he threatened him and threatened him and threatened him, and he was even more vocal. He was literally coming over the bench and shaking his fist and pointing and just screaming at the top of his lungs. The whole courtroom was in a state of absolute fear and shock. The atmosphere was such that you could cut it with a knife. And Travis did a masterful job of never losing his cool. He just said, "Are you offering a rebuttal to my affidavit?" Now, who really got it was the next guy. Okay? The next guy, Travis apologized to on the way back to jail. Literally. Because, I mean, you know, you got to just feel for the guy after you. Because they're going to get just hammered. But actually, I saw this contempt thing take place, and I knew they were going to do exactly what he did there. He was going to threaten him with contempt. He was going to hold him in contempt. And so, I spend a lot of time getting my programming from the law shows on TV. The Practice, Family Law, Law and Order, those types of shows. Now, when you're talking about something as serious as what the things we talk about, how can you possibly learn anything from that? Well, on Family Law on Monday night before I came up here, I watched an attorney who went through this process with a dead client. Her client died before the disposition of the case, and she continued on. And when she ended up with what she wanted, she said to the court, "Your Honor, I'm sorry, I apologize, I have wasted the court's time. And I'm sincerely apologetic, and it's not my intention to waste the court's time." This was after the judge had ruled in her favor. And the other attorney jumped up, ranting and raving and screaming to have her held in contempt. And she turns to this attorney and says, "I've already apologized in this matter, and it's over."